Children, all of us want to live happily in our country. We should be able to express our thoughts and get basic amenities like clean drinking water and food to sustain ourselves. There should be no one to dictate us or make us do something forcefully, isn't it? All of these are human rights. Every person is entitled to certain fundamental rights just by the virtue of being a human. These are called human rights and they cannot be taken away by anyone.
These rights are specially made for your protection against people who might want to harm you or hurt you. They are also there to help us get along with each other and live together peacefully and happily. Generally, all of us are aware of our rights. We know that we have the right to education, freedom of expression, worship, have clean food, clean drinking water, and a safe place to stay. But there are many other rights also. In this chapter, we shall discuss some of the rights you must be aware of.
When human rights are not well known by people, things like discrimination, injustice, oppression, and slavery can arise. When the UN was formed in 1945, all countries agreed to grant certain basic rights to all of their citizens.
Born out of the cruelties and heavy loss of life during World War II, the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights was signed in 1948 to provide a common understanding of what everyone's rights are.
Children, the system of our government is very complex. Many people do not know about the details of functioning of the system. The senior officers take advantage of this situation and cheat people. People do not have information about where is their money going, and that is why the funds are misused.
For example, you pay money to a contractor to build your house, so you must know what quality of bricks and material he is using. If you do not have any information yourself about the prices of material, then there is a possibility the contractor may fool you.
A group of people in Rajasthan got together and formed Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan, which is MKSS. MKSS demanded information about various government projects being run in the village from the government officials and authorities. MKSS famously used the method of Jan Sunwai or public hearing to raise awareness regarding the right to information for poor people. Under the slogan, "Our money, our accounts," MKSS workers and villagers got together and demanded their local administrators to provide them with an account of all expenditure made in relation to development work sanctioned for the area. While there was resistance at all levels, gradually, as public pressure continued and the media began to take notice, the government officials agreed to provide the information requested. Because of MKKS initiatives and the success that they got, soon a law making it compulsory to give official information to the people was passed in 1995. Soon, many other states also passed such laws. The RTI, that is Right to Information Act, was passed by the Parliament in 2005. At each public hearing, a description of the development project, its timelines, implementation methods, budget and outputs were read out along with the record of the people who had been employed, how long they had worked and how much they had been paid. Villagers would then stand up and point out the incorrect information. For example, they found out that several dead people were also listed and somebody else was drawing their salary. Amounts paid were much lesser than what was written in the documents. Absent workers were marked present and vice versa. Thumb impressions that prove receipt of payments were also found to be forged. Public works like roads, though never really constructed, were shown as completed in government records. Though many villagers were illiterate, but in face-to-face public hearings, they could easily understand the complex and detailed accounts, question their representatives and make them answerable on the basis of hard evidence. So many anomalies at so many levels? But RTI brought an end to all this. MKSS has been a leader in the national campaign to implement the right to information. It still continues to use the right to information to empower local people, to root out corruption and hold their government representatives to account. You and all the citizens must be alert and active in monitoring the performance of the government system regularly to bring an end to corruption. This is the right approach to improve the living conditions. The Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act came into force from April 1, 2010. On this day, the right to education was accorded the same legal status as the right to life as provided by Article 21A of the Indian Constitution.
Every child in the age group of 6 to 14 years will be provided 8 years of elementary education in an age-appropriate classroom in the vicinity of his or her neighborhood. Any cost that prevents a child from accessing school will be borne by the state, which shall have the responsibility of enrolling the child as well as ensuring attendance and completion of 8 years of schooling.
No child shall be denied admission for want of documents. No child shall be turned away if the admission cycle in the school is over, and no child shall be asked to take an admission test. Children with disabilities will also be educated in the mainstream schools. All schools will have to prescribe to norms and standards laid out in the Act, and no school that does not fulfill these standards within 3 years will be allowed to function. all private schools will have to apply for recognition, failing which they will be penalized. RTE also has the provision for employment of trained teachers, that is, teachers with the requisite entry and academic qualifications. There is something else also that you should know. RTE prohibits A. Physical punishment and mental harassment, B. Strict screening procedures for admission of children, C. Donation fee, D. Running of schools without recognition. RTE has also laid down instructions for development of extensive curriculum that ensures the all-round development of the child, increases a child's knowledge, hones his talent. The aim is to make every child free of fear and tension through a system of child-friendly and child-centered learning.